Hey guys, welcome to the NXT AW review show. This week, obviously, we are joined with Phil Conley, obviously myself, Booker G. We're going to go straight into NXT Halloween Havoc, a pay-per-view, name that's been around for a long time with WCW and NXT have taken control of Halloween Havoc over the last few years, and they put on some great episodes. And this week's episode is pretty hot. Pretty hot opener, pretty hot middle, bit in between in some parts. But Phil, overall, as a show, did you enjoy Halloween?
Not bad at all. It was quite good. The only thing I wish they would do is make this a special on the network, just to give that, because the matches were like so important that they shouldn't have breaks in them. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Even if they just had it on TV and had no ads. Do you know what I mean?
This is it. Like there hasn't been since 2.0 started. There hasn't been a mention of the word takeover.
Yeah, that's what I'd be pretty worried about. If
are they going to get a pay-per-view? Because if you look at the plans for 2022, there's a lot of Saturdays. But for main pay-per-views are a lot. 7 out of the 12, I think, are Saturdays on takeovers.
It's better nights for shows like.
Yeah, but if you look at the takeover pay-per-views, they were normally the Saturday before the Sunday pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Big pay-per-view. So
I'd be very worried that they're actually finished. Yeah, that it's a scary thought, because remember when we used to be like, this is our show every time they're on.
They were massive shows. Like takeovers were the best shows of the year. Like for a hot crowd.
It'd even be better than the main shows sometimes. But
many times I've enjoyed that way more than the pay-per-view on the Sunday afterwards, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was just a sad day to see if it happens, because like even 2 a year wouldn't be the end of the world for them. Do you know what I mean? But I'm assuming they're being in your house again.
Yeah, well, they can do that in your house. That's no problem. But they need a big pay-per-view to work towards. Like these guys are fresh. They're green. Like they're going to take time to build them up as talent. Like obviously they're not going to fill a 20,000 seater venue with people that nobody know. But
I know, But overall, though, I know what you mean.
But if you look over the last few years, NXT, before Survivor Series, always had, a big pay-per-view. They had the War Games match, and that doesn't seem it's likely they happen this year unless.
But even the ones there before SummerSlam with Bayley versus Sasha Banks, like all those are incredible stuff. Like
amazing, but again, established stars. That's they were established. A lot more people were watching NXT back then. It was a much different show, and people knew who these stars were. But nowadays, other than
I'm assuming a lot of people would tune into this and see the women that we'll talk about. We might as well move on to it.
Absolutely.
I'm assuming people don't know these girls, like if they just tuned in.
I'll be honest, other than Gigi Dolan, who was Killer Kelly on the Indies, and Io and Zoe Stark, I didn't know the others. So
before the match, we had Chucky talking about.
We opened up with Chucky. So Chucky involved with wrestling is always a good thing. If you can.
There's a rumor he's going into the Hall of Fame next year.
Chucky.
Yeah, for the celebrity side, yeah.
Oh, he's not.
There's a rumor going around about it. Yeah, I did there the other day.
What are they going to do? What's his who's going to induct him?
I know, yeah. I'd say Steiner, I'd say. Scott Steiner. No, Rick Steiner. It wasn't Scott, it was Rick.
The Mad Dog. I don't know. That'll be a strange one. But Chucky.
Yeah. What did you think of the match, the ladder match? I thought it was a bit.
It was, again, like you could tell, like I'm not a wrestler. I've never been a wrestler, but they were a bit green for a ladder match. Obviously some of them have never been in a ladder match before. Io was there as the experienced one. They lead them through.
All in that match.
There was a few nasty bumps in that match, but Io, Jesus.
Yeah. It's like Gacy Jane is going to be a superstar. She's like 19 or 20.
Is that all?
Yeah. Oh, she's very young. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, she's very good. Like she has potential to be very, very good.
She's got the facials down to a T already. Like facials are perfect for selling. Gigi Dolan, I'm a big fan of her. Like she seems to be, a female. I know she was married to Darby Allin.
Kind of has a Becky Lynch about her, right?
Well, not even that. She's like a female Darby Allin in a sense that she's not scared to take bumps. Like there was a lot of bumps in that match that she didn't need to take.
Yeah. The right team won though, because I think Zoe Stark and Io shouldn't have had the belts in the first place.
That was a strange pair, and I was surprised during the draft that Io didn't get drafted up to the main roster.
Yeah,
to be honest.
you would think so, but the thing is, like, if she goes up, does she just team and Asuka again? It's Vince McMahon doesn't know what to do with these people he doesn't know.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, that's the only thing. But she was one of the best wrestlers in the world last year. Like, she was on so many top lists. Like, so they need to give her a chance. They need to do something with her. Like, she's not a tag team wrestler. She shouldn't have been in this match in the first place.
But yeah, Toxic Attraction won the match.
Well, last year she was the champion.
Yeah, exactly.
This year she's losing ladder matches to people who aren't on the show 4 weeks. Like, so they need to do something.
So overall, though, Toxic Attraction needed it. They needed to win.
Oh yeah,
they're on fire, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, big time. I'm here for Toxic Attraction to go out. There hasn't been. I don't think there's been any female factions properly in wrestling.
Not since the Four Horsemen, I think.
No, but like, even as a faction, like who went on and won title.
Yeah. There hasn't been,
And we'll talk about Mandy Rose later on, but it is good for her as well, like to be there and get a fresh coat of paint there. So on from that, we had Joe Gacy.
I like him. A lot of people don't. I do. I don't like him.
What is it that you like about him?
I don't know. There's just something about him and the way he talks and the way he is. I like. It just feels different.
Is it a, Kevin Owens 2.0 kind of thing where he's got that look?
I thought that as well, but like I'm trying to see past it. I just don't know if the Hairland thing works. The Hairland.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to.
Be better off with someone else.
What do you think of his finisher, the springboard lariat clothesline?
I mean,
but is it? It's not like the buckshot like Hangman Adam Page's lariat where he springs over. Like he stops.
Like if he hits that, he's winning from that. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a good enough finisher to be beating, bigger stars. Maybe people like
that kind of main event level finish move. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see him, beating Tommaso Ciampa or like even Baker with that kind of move.
I do think though they need to stop with these matches. Like it's 2021. They need to be fighting. Wrestlers need to fight guys we know a little bit. That's my only gripe about it, because I don't like when they fight guys that I don't know. Like I've never the local guy in the.
Well, that's his third match. The boy who beat Malik Blade.
Yeah.
He actually had that's his third match he's had since NXT 2.0 started. But again, he's been squashed 3 times. So again, he's enhancement talent until they decide what to do with him. I'd be surprised if he goes.
The gimmick is just too awkward, but I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see what they go with it. Like obviously, he was almost in the world title match if he had a beaten Ciampa. So
yeah, true.
What to do with Joe Gacy? Like, he's comfortable in the mic. I think Vince will like that about him. That he's.
Yeah, he is. Like, and the thing is, like, they drawed really, really serious heat recently with it, with the gimmick.
And
but they stuck with it. They stuck with it. Good.
But like, he's calling it the snowflakes.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wasn't he like a big deal in the Indies? Joe Gacy, like CZW or something like that. He was.
Honestly, I don't know much about him. This is the problem with NXT 2.0 is unless you're.
It's going to take a while to get used to new guys. Yeah.
You're going to have to like tell a backstory of him. Find out where he came from. Like.
That's another thing of what I was talking to my brother recently about it. The commentary, they don't give enough. Remember years ago they'd be like Roman Reigns was like a footballer or he was. Yeah. They don't say nothing about him these days, like at all.
They don't. They should, because obviously most of the NXT 2.0 roster are.
AEW do a little bit, I think, but not as much as they should.
They like whenever they used to introduce new characters, like if you go back far enough to when Edge debuted, like the promos they used to do for him before he came on the scene were brilliant. Like those little vignettes they used to do, and it really got you invested in a character before they even had a match. You know, and look what it did for Edge's career. Like, you know, he started off with, you know, obviously had a few singles matches before the Brood came along. Like, he went all the way from there. Like, but you know, introducing a character like that, you know, giving them vignettes and letting people, you know, anticipate their debut is something that nobody does anymore. Like,
but yeah, the whole thing was a mess, though, wasn't it? This whole, like, they're trying to do this Attitude Era stuff a little bit. There was just a lot of that kind of stuff with this thing, with the Halloween party.
Yeah, it's like Halloween Havoc. They have to try and make it some sort of thing, like, you know. But Hallen coming in dressed up, you know, I just don't want to say Michael Myers, like, without the mask. Like, he doesn't need the mask.
He did by that, but like, surely because he's so young, they'll probably get away with this now because they could repackage him again. But you think they could do more?
Well, there was so much hype about him on Twitter when he first appeared on the scene, like, you know, with Eva Marie, and everybody's saying, oh, he's the next Brock Lesnar, and
you know, but apparently he's actually really poor in the ring. That's what they're trying to protect.
Really?
Yeah.
He's a big amateur background, though, isn't he? He's
I know. I think he's not progressing as much as they'd like. So, because like Brock Lesnar would have came in and he came in 2002 and he was flying it within 3 months.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They had FCW as well. It's a completely different ballgame there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look at who he had around him, like, you know, Orton and, you know, Batista and Cena and whoever else was on. Like, we'll see what happens with Hallen. I'm holding out hope he does something big, because he is a big dude, and I think there's a future behind him if they give him something proper.
Yeah.
Before we move on, we had the haunted house segments with Johnny Gargano and Dexter. What did you make of it as a whole? You know,
it's fun. Like, it's a bit of fun, and you know, there's nothing. You know, people would probably shit all over it, but it's fun. Like,
I loved it. I love a good haunted house. Like, if you ever been to the Night Realm when it was in Cork, or have you ever been to,
like, this was better than if Johnny Gargano fought whatever. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Johnny Gargano's comedy segments have, you know, saved his career.
He's really come on a long way on the mic and everything. Johnny Gargano, he's quite funny, like.
He is funny, but again, they've saved his career because, you know, he's done everything there is to do in NXT. Like, you know, at one stage you're going to just get sick of him having matches for the title, or, you know, he's got to move on. Like, so these comedy segments, especially with Dexter Lumis, have been perfect.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, as we were talking about recently, that it kind of needed somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Index just wasn't really clicking as much as it should.
They've kind of broken away from that now, have they? Like, I know she's
Austin Theory moved on, like, and they kind of moved away from it.
But even like they haven't had, you know, Indy and Dexter in a segment since the wedding, really, or the honeymoon. Sorry, the bit they did.
Yeah, they kind of subtly talk about it, but yeah, there's not major anymore.
He was coming out to the ring all the time. Now that they're, you know, married, he doesn't need to come out and stalk her anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. They should do something.
As long as they don't get a divorce, we'll be okay.
Yeah, a divorce. And actually, do you know why we haven't seen a wrestling divorce in live on TV? Have we? I don't remember one.
Not since Linda asked Vince for it. Him for divorce.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Which shocked the world.
But like a live in the ring divorce,
yeah.
Like a contract signing, you think? Yeah, I've not seen that, but yeah.
I'm not sure how that would be
done. The next match there, Diamond Mine, Pick Your Poison.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this because it was really unnecessary.
Odyssey Jones, like, what are they doing with him?
And he's talented. He's
super talented. He's so charismatic. Like, his mic skills are great, and he's massive. Like,
he's Mark Henry. Like, do you know, he's big like Mark Henry.
I think he's a bigger Keith Lee. Like, he's got the
thing is, like, Malcolm Bivens does nothing for me.
Really?
Well, maybe it's just who he's with.
I don't know. Like, again, one of those people on the mic that he's a hype man. He's,
Oh yeah, like he's good on that, but like it's just the group, the faction. Diamond Mine.
I don't mind though. When they started, I didn't really get it.
Yeah.
On the two boys, the Creed brothers, and the new girl that's in, I'm not too familiar with her yet. Like,
Yeah.
what's something about her? Like, so. I'm
Yeah,
not. Roddy
Ivy
Strong.
Nile. Is that her name? Ivy Nile.
Ivan, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. She's actually quite good, actually. But they did need a female.
Yeah.
I just didn't think they'd. But yeah, the match was what it was. Like, but like, I don't know. It just
Roddy Strong hasn't been
something
like after Undisputed Era, like other than Adam Cole, like the rest of the Undisputed Era, they don't have what Adam Cole had. Like,
yeah, I think it's just not. Roderick Strong doesn't have the personality to drive.
He has no personality at all. Like, he has no charisma. He's not good in the mic. We know he's a talented wrestler. We know he can go. Like, but it's just like Kyle O'Reilly as well. It's just like it just doesn't click.
Similar,
I can't stick with this Kyle O'Reilly and Beverly Brother Jr. fucking gimmick they've got.
I know. It's like we're forcing it on you. Like, it's not going to work.
Well, they're putting them together as a tag team, like, so obviously.
That's what I mean. Like, they're forcing us to accept it. I just don't think it'll work because he'll turn on him eventually.
Well, did you see the segment last week? Their man date. They went out hiking and had beers around a campfire. Like, like, what was that about?
It's like Brokeback Mountain. It's like Brokeback Mountain.
I know. It's like, how is this going to help people like them? Like,
they were trying the same thing with Roderick Strong a few years ago. Remember, they used to follow him to his house and his caravan.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was just really
didn't
weird.
work either.
Yeah, they always never going to work because like you can't force things down people's throats. Like,
well, if they're going hiking and they want to get people invested in them, and their friendship is now a bond, like maybe one of them should have slipped down a cliff and the other one should have saved them, and saved my life kind of thing, and that's why they were tagged. As opposed to sitting around the campfire drinking beers.
Next they'll be singing country western music after next week. But yeah, sometimes I don't know what they're thinking, to be honest.
Yeah.
The match, going back to the match though, the match was grand for what it was.
Yeah, it was good. Like, distraction finishes or.
But there wasn't this on 205 a few weeks ago.
It was last week.
And it was actually probably better because I had more time.
Probably.
I had way more time on.
They didn't mention in commentary that it was a rematch because they already had a match with him. So I don't know. Again, he's a cruiserweight champion. He shouldn't be fighting.
Like these big heavyweights. Yeah.
Why not defend the title in an open challenge? Like?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
There's plenty of talent on.
Thing is, like looking at the roster there, like who takes it off him besides his own teammates eventually?
I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly maybe down the line if he's not still in the tag team, or
if you're like Kyle O'Reilly, realistically, would you be really disappointed if you were suddenly a world title contender and you're going for a cruiserweight? It just, to me, I'd be very, very disappointed if it was me.
Well, if you had told me 6 months ago that Adam Cole would leave for AEW, I would have picked Roderick Strong to be the one going for the title as opposed to Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. He's much like. Do you remember his promo with Finn Balor was so bad in the ring?
Mm-hmm.
They had to probably they did these really weird angles and things to try and cover it.
Roderick Strong was North American champion. He had the Survivor Series match against AJ Styles and Shinsuke, the triple threat match, which he won.
Yeah.
When you get that kind of rub, you'd want to be bouncing from it, like not going backwards. 205 is going backwards from the European or the North American title.
I think WWE need to do something drastic soon because I don't see where the challenges are coming from besides the world title picture, which obviously we'll talk about in a minute, but I just don't see where there's people going for the North American belt and the cruiserweight belt. Where, like who's logically, like they don't have the star power, but because obviously they're starting off, but like there's trying to get.
I like Carmelo Hayes. I like him. I dig him. Him and Trick are they're charismatic as hell. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm presuming they can have
Obviously, I know like new stars take a lot of time to kind of get.
I'm not too worried about the North American title because, again, there's plenty of talent there that can use, as long as they use the open challenge matches, like, have them every week and give them something they look forward to. Like, that should be advertised. Like, WWE don't advertise matches enough. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of matches on this card were advertised.
On Raw this week, they did put an ad for Halloween Havoc.
Yeah. But on Raw, they also advertised a tag match that didn't happen. And that was the only thing they advertised on the whole show. And they're expecting people to tune in. I know their ratings went up a little bit, like, but, it's just, why wouldn't you advertise a fatal 4-way ladder match, a number one contender match between those 4 stars? Like, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you have to do open segments, opening the shows with talking segments?
They've done a million times before.
That's all they do. That's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
Bring out somebody out, start a match. Oh, we'll have the match as the main event. It's like, why not advertise it?
Yeah.
The day before or even a couple of hours before, like the main event tonight. Don't get people to tune in.
Yeah, it's so confusing for any new fans that are starting out. Like, because we've grown up used to it now in some sort of way, but like if you're coming into it late at the game, you'll be like, "Fuck this! I'm not doing any of that. I'm not."
No. Why would you when you can just tune in on a Wednesday and watch Dynamite or Rampage or something?
And even with Raw, like it's YouTube, you can watch the fucking clips.
That's exactly what I do. There's 2 or 3 minute clips on YouTube, and what happens.
Unless I hear about something from someone that there's something on it that I need to see.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't watched Raw. I haven't watched a 3-hour episode of Raw in about 3 years, probably.
Yeah. The last one I watched, and I remember it very clearly, was the one where Retribution bombed. It was the first time they appeared when they bombed the backstage electrical thing or something. That was like 2018. Was it?
You couldn't break a window with a fucking brick.
Yeah, that was the last time I ever watched. I watched the full one.
Yeah,
but it's just so hard to watch. It's just like it's like working.
Yeah, it's not like there's people out there who have to watch it for their podcasts. Like,
yeah. But anyway, we're sidetracked enough about
that's it. That's enough for all time. We can't give it any more time.
I suppose the next one is for Trick or Treat, Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose has grown
ridiculous.
In the last 3 months, ridiculous. She's shown how actually talented she is.
She's given a chance down there. She's able to shine.
Yeah.
No more love stories with Otis, or it's all about her fucking blonde black.
What do you think of the match? Because I thought it was actually really, really good.
I thought it was very good. I'm glad that it was a street fight. That they were able to use candlesticks to that ability. Like she beat the crap out of Raquel with those candlesticks during the match. It was painful to watch some of it.
Yeah, there was some really cool stuff in it. I
love the segment where Raquel stood up on the table, on the announce table with the mask on and tilted her head out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was very good.
And Raquel, sorry, I mentioned that she came out in the big big chopper, the Gold Wing. She came out in the bike. Like, I didn't realize that she drove a motorbike. So that was a pretty good, again, like that's something that you should build up to, like, give people backstory about someone. They had told us weeks ago, or back when she actually won the title, that she rode motorbikes. They could have done some backstage stuff with her having the title on front of the bike and driving around town with it on. Like,
exactly.
People invested in her, because her title reign wasn't anything to write home about.
No, it's actually very disappointing, to be honest, because when she won it, she was big potential.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything back. Again, they didn't give any backstory. It was, she defended it against a couple of people, and then Dakota turned on her, and that was it. Really.
Then on this again, she shoveled her basically.
I like that spot though. It was nice.
It was, yeah, but we all knew it was we all said it last time.
It was a good way of protecting her, though. If they do build up Raquel,
do they just? I wonder now, does Dakota beat Raquel? Because I think Raquel is going to have to move up, surely.
I hope they do. Like, I really hope they do, because what's the point in bringing her back and she's burying her past and all this, promo shit?
Go on then to finally win the NXT Women's Belt. Eventually.
someday. She obviously they didn't want her on the main roster
And the
too.
thing is, like, again, she doesn't fit into Vince's thing because she's actually closer to 35. Like you wouldn't think she is, but
She?
yeah.
Not really. I didn't
33,
realize she was that
34,
old.
I think. She's 33, 34.
Oh.
Yeah. No, she is like that. I think that's a major factor in why she's not pushed up on the main roster because, like, I read an article and you probably seen it as well, where WWE are well aware that their aging roster, Raw and SmackDown, are a lot of people in their 40s.
That's true. That's when people come of age, really. Like, it can't all be Randy
Oh
Orton.
yeah, but like they literally know like that they don't have like an MJF. They don't have anyone that's kind of going to be a next breakout kind of star for them.
No, not yet anyway. I don't know. I'm not ready for Braun Breaker to break out yet either.
Exactly. He needs another year at least.
Yeah. But we can talk about him in a minute.
The thing is, like, if they build him up properly, he could be a Royal Rumble winner in 2023 and then fight on WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. If WWE know how to build him properly, like,
like Batista, do a Batista like on him.
He needs to be in a stable, so to bring him up.
No, but not even like the way I'm on about, like the slow thing with him, like the really slow builds.
They don't have the patience. They don't have the patience for slow builds in WWE anymore.
Yeah, I know.
Other than the Roman stuff, like that's the most compelling stuff they've done in years. I don't see why they can't do it with other people.
It's because Roman and Paul Heyman are involved.
But like, if Paul Heyman's able to write this kind of stuff, like, why doesn't he write? Why don't they let him do other stuff? Like, just shit on him, keep shitting on him. Like, but look at his track record. Like, he knows what he's talking about. Just let him run SmackDown. If he's not running SmackDown, give some input to Raw, because it's just, they need to do something backstage as opposed to changing stuff up front.
Yeah. So they go back to the house then after that for more antics.
Yeah. It's a bit a strange way to end it on is just give him the title and let him run away scared. Like,
yeah. What did you think of it?
I like it. Again, like I said, it's a haunted house segment. Like, it wasn't like Cameron Grimes and Dexter one last year was brilliant. I loved that, but that was
yeah.
Pandemic era one, and they had to have the match in the haunted house, and this was just a come and get your title. I thought they were going to go down have you seen the Undertaker survive the Undertaker thing on Netflix?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to go down that road.
It was a really weird way for Solo Sikoa to arrive, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt I knew he was coming because they obviously were promoting it for weeks, but like, I suppose I was just more expecting him to be in a match. He just kind of showed up here and kind of just did his thing.
Well, like they were saying, like, what's his name? LA Knight, he had car trouble, and was like, why did I have car trouble? How did you know I had car trouble? And I thought he was going to line with LA Knight for a second there.
Yeah. LA Knight should be on the main roster, man. He's really good.
It's just another one of those. Was he too old to be in the main roster, or is he too old to be in NXT?
I know. I don't know. He's about 40. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. But overall, these were very good. I like them. The segments.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Yeah, like even Tony D'Angelo. Finally, we get to talk about Tony D'Angelo in the backstage segment for the Lashes episode next week that he's going to be on. Like,
the only thing about it was Sikoa, like, were they chanting Uso chant? There was a Uso.
I don't know. They did try. Somebody tried to chant it out, but I don't think it actually got taken off. I don't think it actually took off properly. Like, but he has the head off the Usos, like, so.
Yeah.
And he's a street fighter. So.
Yeah, it's true too. I suppose then we had the tag title match.
Yeah.
MSK, I don't know. We only talked to them earlier because we were on about them in Cork and how far Trey and Miguel has come and stuff. But they've gone backwards since NXT 2.0. Did you read the story about why people were booing them? I saw something up. What was it? was it Bailey's parents or something? Not Bailey's parents.
No,
Izzy's parents.
Izzy's.
Yeah, Izzy's parents were booing him.
Yeah, there was some spot that Izzy took a spot and said it was dangerous, and a few people called him out, and Nash Carter apparently was one of them. So I think Izzy's parents. That was a rumor. Now, don't quote me on it, but that
I know. I was reading the same thing. Yeah.
They,
the rumor is not actually fact.
Whether it's true or not, like there was apparently people in the NXT audience that are obviously been there since NXT was on the go, like, and Izzy's parents were always in the audience, and
no, I'd be worried that they lost after that. But
well, like after the match aired on Twitter, like WWE, social media team were really putting MSK over. It's like, how can you boo this? They were doing some of the bits, some of their moves in the match. Like,
maybe they lost. They lost because Walter's coming, maybe. Full time.
Why not bring Walter in because Imperium lost instead? Like, he's coming in. They actually.
I know what you mean.
Like,
be that kind of drill sergeant to kind of be like.
Yeah, they lost another match. They need Walter in their corner.
Almost like Leo Rush is doing with on Dynamite.
Well, like without Walter, Imperium are just undisputed era without Adam Cole. Like, it's
that's it. The match was good though. I really liked it.
Yeah, like Fabian Eichner's again. He's like fucking a mini Cesaro. Like, he's so strong. Like, some of the spots he does, like. I was pushing them on. They do that squat, lift the two boys up at the one time. Like, it was so.
This was the best match so far, I'd say.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good match. I'm just surprised that MSK lost.
Yeah. No, I didn't think they'd lose either because, like, it just there's so many.
What about the lumberjacks? Some of the lumberjacks. I think it was Nash. Carter did a dive to the outside and nobody caught him. Like they separated on purpose or something. Like, nobody caught him. Like, and people were calling him out again. You look on Twitter, like even Matt Riddle had called him out. I would kick their beat the shit out of them if they did that to him. Like,
yeah, it's weird.
Like there was 12 of them out there. There was a good 8 or 10 people in that corner when he jumped off it, and none of them caught him. Like, there was
that's kind of
It looked like somebody tried to crowd surf in the metal concert, and everybody just stood out of the way. And
everybody's like, I go this way and you go that way.
Yeah, fuck, I'm not catching this fucker.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I'd say there are probably a few words said that when they went back. Like,
I'd say so. He could have broke his fucking hip.
Yeah. But the match this is definitely the best match on it so far.
Did you notice around the ring, everybody around the ring was in a tag team except for Zion Quinn and Andre Chase. I think Andre Chase was there as well.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think that's who it was.
But they were standing beside each other. It was like, are they putting them in the tag team? Surely not.
You never know what they could be trying anything really.
Because everybody else around the ring was in a tag team. It was a tag team number. All the lumberjacks were tag team partners.
Yeah. Who knows? They could be trying something there, like or hinting at something anyway.
See what happens with him. Like, I think he's got something in him as well. I really like him. Like, again, if we give a backstory, like some simple to me, like they said, he's from New Zealand, but he's half Samoan, half Irish. So, like, even just mention that, like, he's going to end up getting a following of obviously Samoans, New Zealand, and Irish people behind him. Just a backstory, something small like that. That's all commentary have to do. Try and get somebody over it.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Then the main event.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of you yourself were like, he's not really ready, but I was very shocked that he didn't win.
I was surprised that he didn't win, but I understand why he didn't win.
Yeah.
They're looking at the future of NXT. Like, they need someone to put all their talent over, where he's trying to get himself over at the minute. He shouldn't be trying to put other people over.
Yeah, before the match though, it started, you had this warm-up thing with Chucky.
Yeah, sure. Throw back to his dad's
segment. Yeah, that's quite funny.
They have to throw in those little subtle things. Like,
but he looked good in the match. He really did.
Yeah, there's no doubt he's uber talented. Like, he is definitely the future if they book him properly.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just, again, Ciampa's unbelievably talented as well. But like, where does he go? I know where did he go? Where did Boatman go after this?
Well, they definitely protected Braun, even though he lost. He looked great in the feet because it took Champ
exactly.
that much to keep him down. Like, so it's
Maybe
more like
a title reign or something like North
I'd
America.
say they'll have another match. I say WWE love the rematches. I can't see
Like
reason why they couldn't.
the big news coming out was that they're going to have a 3-way with Sami Zayn.
Yeah, on the NXT tour, or
Yeah,
not the NXT,
tour.
UK tour in November, like next week. So
yeah, that's interesting.
Whether Sami Zayn comes to the NXT looking for a title match because he's not getting the respect on SmackDown.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah,
I'll take more people. Bring Cesaro down to NXT. Bring fucking Kevin Owens to NXT. Bring everybody to NXT.
Yeah.
Imagine how big their ratings will be then if them boys. They don't have to be there every week. They just have to show up. If somebody has an open challenge, why not? Why the fuck not? Put them on.
The finish though of the match though, Dan, was really protected. They really protected him.
Big time. And they busted him open as well. I don't know. Is that on purpose or what?
The storytelling was phenomenal in this one.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be this Gargano 40-minute match.
No.
It
wasn't a spot fest. Did you know there wasn't spots in it because the two boys aren't high flyers and they're not flipping everywhere. So, and as big as Braun is, Champ is a fucking animal, and he's not even 6 foot tall, but he looks, he scares the shit out of me. I wouldn't want to be in a fight with him.
I know, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much the show. Overall, it was very strong, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And their ratings come out as well that they got over 700,000. Yeah, they got 715,000, I think.
It's up a bit, so it's up a
well, they were competing against night one of the World Series, so they were expecting to be dropped. So the fact that they actually went up, these kind of pay-per-view style weekly shows like Halloween Havoc are definitely going to bring in people. Just the nostalgia thing of seeing the wheels getting turned, or even having Chucky on board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I hope, I'm not sure if it'll ever happen in NXT again, but like you said, the cage, the double cage, what's it called again?
War Game.
War Games happens in NXT.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a shame not to have that every year.
It was fun, alright.
And I'm not sure if the stage is big enough to hold the two cages.
Not where they were, no. They'd have to go somewhere bigger, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. But thumbs up to me anyway for this one.
Definitely, definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoy it NXT most weeks anyway. So